Welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to be doing a comparison between a LARIAT F150 versus an XLT F150 versus a XL F250. Now I got to use an F250 because that is what I have, but the XL F250 is very similar to the XL F150 with the addition of a few more options that you can get on the 250. I'll talk about that. The F150 is a little bit more restrictive in what you can get, but nonetheless they are very similar packages, and vice versa. So if you're in the market for a 250, 350, or if you're in the market for a 150, the trims are very similar, but there's a few things that you can get on the super duties that would be more limited with the 150s. So looking at trim levels, the difference between the 150 and the super duties right off the bat is the fact that more features are available on super duty than they are on the 150s. The 150s are kind of packaged more. They have more restrictive packaging. For example, you cannot get LED lighting unless you get a LARIAT with 502A trim and you go all the way out. With the Super Duty, you can get LED lighting on some of the lower trims. Another thing is you can't get the high-end camera package, but on the Super Duty, you can get the top camera package on the XL. With an F150, in order to get a 360-degree camera, I think you have to be in at least an XLT. So the Super Duty lets you add a few more features, even in the XLs, that you can't get in XL F150s. But nonetheless, it will be very similar to an XL, regardless of if it's a 250 or 150. But anyway, let's start with our LARIAT first. This is my LARIAT. It's a 502A trim package. Most of our trim packages that we talk about today are going to be high up on the list. I mean, as far as features added, because there's levels to this. There's LARIAT, there's an entry-level LARIAT package, and then you can go all the way up to the 502A trim package, which pretty much has almost every feature. The only features that I don't have on this F150 is I don't have the power deployable running boards, and I don't have a tailgate step. And technically, I don't have a little step that pops out here on the back of the bed. But other than that, the truck has every other feature. But what do you really get when you go to a 502A trim? Number one, right off the bat, you get keyless entry. One of my favorite features, you just reach in here, grab the door, it opens up. It's only on the front doors. It unlocks the rear, but you're not going to be able to reach back here and unlock your doors like you can on some Ford cars. So you only have the touch sensors in the front doors. You have the locking mechanism sensor right there that you can touch and lock the truck, and it won't open till you reach in and touch it. You have your keypad, which the bottom two buttons will lock. You can also get that on an XLT, but you cannot get the keyless entry on an XLT, unfortunately. That might change in the upcoming years with the new model coming out. With the LARIAT, you get leather. Once you go to the 502A trim, you get cooled seats, and I think heated seats are going to end up being standard on all LARIATs. Getting inside of the truck here. Now, guys, this is my magnetic F150, and I just put together a playlist of this truck from the first day I got it, so check that out. I'll link that in the description. But looking at the 502A trim, one of the cool things you get is push button start. That's a really great feature because you can like pull up in a gas station, whatever. You can get out of the car. You can lock it just by touching the door. The key's in your pocket. And when you put it in park, even if somebody jumps in your car and tries to take your car because it's running, they can't engage the button to put it in drive. The vehicle won't go into drive without the key present. So that is a cool feature. Vehicle does not go into drive, so you can leave it running. That's kind of nice if you just going in the store for something real quick and don't want to turn off the vehicle. This is a huge feature that is standard only on LARIATs. I don't know if it's not available on XLTs, and it's the 4-wheel auto. It's pretty much a four-wheel drive system that allows you to make turns without all the binding up, because it can disengage the four-wheel drive just as you're turning. So that is a nice feature to have on a LARIAT, but that's something you have to get into a LARIAT to get, and it's a nice feature because you're bound up when you're in four-wheel drive, and it's kind of a nuisance. This system, you can use it in the rain and you wouldn't even notice it's on, whereas when you're locked into four-wheel high, you really notice that it's on. It's kind of hard on a drivetrain if you're on dry pavement. So that's a cool feature. It's incredibly useful feature. One thing that's interesting though, going to the 502A trim, I was kind of attracted to it when I ordered this truck. I custom ordered this truck. I was attracted to it because it gave you every feature, and I really wanted to experience every feature, but not every feature is a good feature. Lane keeping, in my opinion, it's just not the best. I got tired of having it on, car constantly nudging you, and it doesn't give you confidence or anything. So if there's a way to not get this lane keeping and still have automatic parking, which I'll use this automatic parking, parallel parking from time to time, but that lane keeping system is just pretty much turned off all the time because it's not good. It's detecting the lines in the road, and it's not going to keep you really in the lane, or it's not going to steer for you. It kind of nudges you, and it's just kind of annoying to have on. So I turned that feature off. The automatic headlight feature, it's not the best. I mean, it's cool, but it just sometimes seems like it's blinking for no reason. So that's another thing that might be getting turned off soon, is the automatic headlight. The sensor up here, I don't know how accurate it is. I think actually now on the 19s the automatic headlights are standard, but I just feel like on my 18 it's just blinking for no reason sometimes. So there's a lot of things that aren't really necessary and that I could really live without, and like I say, lane keeping could do without it, but automatic parking can it's okay. I can live without it, but at least it works good. It does work good, automatic parking. Now, I think how they get you with the F150 is if you want the technology package with the cameras. I believe at the time they made me get the whole package, the whole parking, lane keeping, and camera. So they make it one big package and charge a fortune for it. Whereas with the Super Duty, you can get just the camera package on the Super Duty by itself. But furthermore, moving forward, with the 502A trim, the difference between this trim level and the XLT, a big difference is the fact that you get a leather wrapped instrument panel. And believe it or not, the leather wrapped IP does look a lot better than the plastic one, and you don't get those plastic or those dash humps that you'd get on the plastic one. Both of my other F-Series trucks, the XL and the XLT, do seem like they have a little bit of a hump, but with the leather wrapped one it looks perfect and there's no hump. With this trim package, 502A trim, you get the heated steering wheel, which is kind of cool, but leather wrapped, to me it seems like the leather's kind of getting kind of flattened, or maybe it's just dirty. Like, I drive the truck, I don't have a lot of miles, but I do drive it I do put a lot of hours on it. So, but LARIAT standard is going to be center console. XLT, once you get into the sport model, you're going to get the center console as well. Pretty big center console here. Got my mask in there for the COVID situation. But yeah, I don't really know what other key features are in here. Oh, we opted for a twin panel moonroof, which is great. It's broken, but it's broken before in the past, but right now it is working, so that is great. That is not part of the 502A trim. That's something that we had to add even after having a $7,000 502A trim package on the truck. But another thing that's pretty unique to this trim that you don't get on the XLT is the fact that you have dual climate, which is nice. You can set a different temperature from your wife or whoever else is in your passenger seat. Maybe your husband or wife, or you guys like to have different temperatures. I know my wife likes to have her own temperature. So Pro Trailer Backup Assist at the time was part of the max towing package. But also, that's another thing worth mentioning, is the fact that you get memory seating, which is nice. Number 3 is like relaxation for me, and seat goes all the way back when I hit 3. And when I hit 1, it goes to my setting, and number 2 is the wife's setting. But yeah, overall, pretty cool package. I'll talk more about it as I go through the trucks, but this is what you get with the LARIAT, and it is a good package. Towing mirrors are not standard. These were added separate. But, overall, pretty cool package. But yeah, let's move over to the XLT and check out what you get. Now, XLT is going to have to be my favorite trim package, and even though it's not as fancy as the LARIAT 502A or anything, something about these seats, and particularly these sport seats, I don't know how the standard XLT seats are right now, but these sport seats are, in my opinion, more comfortable than what I have in my LARIAT. Even though they are not leather, this cloth material is just, I don't know, something about it. It's more comfortable. It's softer. The leather is a little bit hard. It's got a lot of things going on inside the seat. It's got air and heat and all this stuff, and who knows what that does to the comfort of the seat. It's got these modules in it, but this seat just has heat. It's just a heated seat, and I really enjoy the comfort, the bolstering. To me, it's better than a leather seat. But getting inside here, interestingly enough, all of the trucks are going to have automatic headlights, unless you get an XL with the basic trim package. I don't know, that might be standard nowadays. I don't know. But getting inside here, as you see, the 4-wheel drive is different. You don't have 4-wheel drive auto, but when you put this truck in the 4-wheel drive high, it will moan and groan as you turn the wheel. There's no dual climate, but you know what? You set the temperature yourself. You don't have the digital readout in the dashboard to tell you what temperature you need to feel. You just kind of have to feel it and roll with it. But I'm sitting in the seat right now, and I have to say, the seat is incredibly comfortable. No, it's not leather, but it don't need to be leather to be the most comfortable. I feel like if you put a blind man in both these trucks, he's blind, he doesn't see all the fancy stuff, he would pick the XLT over the LARIAT seat. So I have to give the seats to the XLT, and I don't know if it's just because it's the sport package, but in my opinion, the XLT seats are superior just because there's less going on in them. But with the sport package, you're going to get the center console. Now, when I say sport package, I'm not talking about the special edition package that this truck has. The special edition package gives you the red stitching here. It ironically says sport everywhere. It gives you red stitching on the seats. It gives you a unique instrument cluster that says sport everywhere. But the special edition package is not a sport package. The sport package gives you the color match bumpers and the center console, things like that, where the special edition package gives you the stitching and the red stitching everywhere. Here on the center console you can see it, here on the shifter, here on the seat belt you can see it. It also carries on to the outside of the truck, where some of the batching has red around it, as you see there, and it has graphics on the door. That makes it special edition. And also the wheels, I believe it's like a $2,000 package. That is what the special edition is. And then the sport package is just color matched, everything color matched with the center console. Her truck does not have a twin panel moonroof, but you can get a twin panel moonroof in an XLT. But yeah, XLTs are nice. Her truck has a leather wrapped steering wheel that is not heated, and I do not know if you get that part of the special edition package or with the standard XLT. I think an XLT of this equal trim level without the special edition package will still have a leather wrapped steering wheel, but the dash panel, the IP panel, is a little bit less fancy. It doesn't have the leather on it. But if you kind of look right there at the right angle, does it look like there's a hump on the dashboard? I don't know. It's hard to say, but it doesn't look as nice as the LARIAT as far as the dashboard is concerned. Trailer brake, we added that separate right there. We added that after the fact, but yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. She still has navigation. You can get navigation. Still get your power outlet here. But yes, it's pretty much, it is what it is. XLT is XLT. One of my favorite trim levels. Now moving forward to the XL. Moving forward to the XL. So if you're looking at a 150, which we're not, we're looking at a 250 right now, but if this were a 150, just so it could be apples to apples, with the 150, you cannot get the 360-degree camera in the F150 XL. You have to at least go to an XLT to add that technology package. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how it was last time I checked. In the form of a 250, you can do some things a little different. This F250 has cameras all around it, and it is an XL. It's got a camera here underneath the mirror. It's got a camera in the front of it right here, right on the emblem, and all around the truck's got the cameras. But you can't get that on the F150 unless you step up to an XLT. The XL Super Duty, one thing that I'm not a fan of is the fact that you don't get a seat that can go up and down. On the driver's side, definitely not on the passenger side, but not on the driver's side either. Let's shoot over there and take a look. The driver's side seat can't go up and down, and even if it were mechanical, I think it'd be cool if it did, but it don't. Rubber floors here on the XL standard. You could I believe you can do carpet if you want. Gray seats, you can do vinyl if you want, but the cloth is better, so a $300 add-on. But looking at the interior, you get the super basic interior. You got like a magnetic colored paneling here, which is about as basic as it gets. Just plain old black paneling here, and this is how it's going to be on the F-150 as well. Gray panels, black. Some of it though is a little bit nice. Look, you got like chrome around your buttons here, and that just comes from the fact that they just can't cheap out on everything. They have to have some uniform stuff in production. Just everyone has these chrome buttons, but where they can cheap out, they will. Black. And honestly, if you're working or if you're just driving, you're not that guy who's so concerned about that, it's just fine. I'm going to be honest. I don't have a problem with it being plain and black. These hard plastic steering wheels, people have complained about them. I've seen online. But me personally, when you're working your truck, or if you're doing a lot of turning, a lot of driving, maybe plowing, the plastic steering wheel is the way to go. If you're in a 150 or a 250, you're not going to be in four-wheel drive auto. Super Duties, it's not available to have four-wheel drive auto. But like I said, you got to get into a LARIAT 150 to get four-wheel drive auto. But this is what a 150 is going to look like. This is what a 150 XL is going to look like. You got your center seat here where you can sit three across the front, three people here across the front. Along with reaching over, you can pull it down. Little button there. Kind of hard to do with one hand. But yeah, it drops down the XL. You don't get a big center console like you do, but you can have someone sit there. So if you need that extra capacity, that's there. It's nice to have. It comes with an extra seat belt. So it's hard to say which one's better. This one, you had enough storage and you were able to sit somebody here if you had to. So it's not too bad. As an armrest, it works okay. But yeah, still a crew cab, still pretty big inside. But Super Duties have this extra storage that a 150 won't have that. But 150 XL, you're going to be making a lot of compromises. With the Super Duty XL, you're able to do a lot more. You're able to get some pretty interesting features like the camera system. One thing about these trucks, if you didn't already know, you can always turn on the radio even if the truck is off and you don't have the key. Just press power and it should fire up. There it is. Turn that down. There the radio is. It is on, and you don't even have to have the key. So that's pretty cool. Let's see if the camera package works without the key. No, cameras don't work without the key. But yeah, pretty cool setup, pretty cool truck. XL gets so basic, it's pretty quick to even talk about. There's not that much to talk about. You got your plug here with the XL. You only get one outlet. You don't get another outlet back here like you do with the other trucks. You just get a 12-volt power point, but you don't actually get another plug, another wall outlet for your 110-volt items. But guys, that is pretty much it. I will link in the description some things. I have this truck from the day I got it, every video in order, our 2019 F250. I have a playlist with tons of content on a 2.7 liter EcoBoost. If you are interested in 2.7 liter EcoBoost content, I have a playlist full of 2.7 EcoBoost content. It's what we have in this truck right here. And I have another playlist of this truck from the day we got it, and I'll put all those in the description. So comment below. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.